with one truth at a time and one person at a time. I am changing the world, and I've started with mine. Subscribe and take this journey with me. Greetings. Yes, we are almost at the end of this series, and I just got a mic. No, I don't love this mic. I'm going to return this too, probably. If you have mic suggestions, let me know in the comments. Yeah, we are on video 20 of this series. If y'all have been watching this live as I create the videos, thank you so much for your support. If y'all are watching this after the series is already recorded, thank you for tapping into your divine feminine self and deciding to magnify your energy. This has been so beautiful so far. We just have one video left to close this out. I am excited. So much has come into my spirit throughout this series. Yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all. 20 videos in. I'm doing it. And y'all doing it with me. So I have made some changes and have had some revelations about my name. Not Camelia Janelle. I am Camelia Janelle. That's not changing. However, I did make a big change to the title that I will be going by going forward. So this one is going to be about me sharing my name changes with you and how my own identities are forming and merging as one, and how important it is as women to understand the power of the names you allow people to call you and identifying your soul name or whatever names you want to go by, making sure that they are things that you feel empowered to be called and they represent the truest parts of you based on how you want people to refer to you. Because names carry power, and what we allow ourselves to be called, it shapes how we are treated, how we are seen, valued, respected, and what we mean to the world. So my former title was Cosmic Sexuality Doula and a World Changer. So my former title was Cosmic Sexuality Doula, the World Changer. With one person at a time, one truth at a time, I am changing the world, and I started with mine. That is my tagline. That is still true to my heart and my soul. And while my title was accurate at the time, I was doulaing women through their awakenings, through their sexual revelations, through sensuality, through their womb energy, making sure that they understood and that I was in position to help them understand who they are now and who they want to be and how to get there. And the reason I used the word doula originally is so that I can help people understand that the word doula, it is operating in different realms. It's not just birth working. You have career doulas, death doulas, sexuality doulas, life-changing doulas, life coaching doulas. However, doula is very much known for their energy of birth working and ushering babies into this world through the womb. And I started to see how people were immediately assuming and connecting me to birth working doulas, and I would constantly have to explain to them that my work is not with pregnant women. Specifically, my work is for those that are ushering in themselves and they are birthing themselves a new life, new ideas, going through awakenings, spiritual awakenings, transformations, and how sexuality is at the root of all these transformations, and how the portal of sexuality can help usher those things in a way that is helpful for their growth. I would explain that all the time, of course, before I would work with clients and hold spaces. The word cosmic I felt was too far, meaning a lot of people didn't understand the word. I understand the word, but in order to really meet people where they are and meet people in a way that they understand the layman terms that comes with spiritual awakening and spirituality, is to use a different word. And cosmic, I also found myself feeling like I was a little bit over explaining to people what that word even means or entails. It seemed too broad, too out there, too astronomical. And so I had to bring it back to the earth a bit and really merge myself with my alien and my human. But the main work at the core of it, of what I do, is sexual healing, sexual liberation, sexual trauma healing, right? And so my name began to transition throughout my experience with this title as a cosmic sexuality doula, hearing how people felt about it, seeing the disconnect, hearing the confusion, um, and the scarcity too. It's very a nuance of a name. It's very big. There's a lot of different words in there that people don't understand. So I was shifted to transition, and it's something I've been thinking about for a while, for a few years now. I have been a cosmic sexuality doula for 4.5 years now. And so for the last 2.5 years, the name has been kind of talking to me, whispering to me, and I took my time to listen to what my new name would be, my new title. So as I was guiding women back to their remembrance and their wounds, their truth, their sexuality, helping them be liberated, I was doing the same thing for myself. And through that, of course, I'm ushering in my new self. And that's where my new title came to me very clear. And one of the other most important things about my name is I truly have been seeing the rise of doulas, and I absolutely love that. When I had my daughter 9.5 years ago, I had a doula. I had two doulas actually. I was gifted. And at the time, the word doula was so foreign. People weren't having doulas. I was doing something super like out of the box. Like, what is a doula? Once I learned what the doula was, I started to educate everyone I knew when they were pregnant on what a doula was and how they needed one. So I am extremely impressed, excited, and just floored with how much the doulas have been growing across the nation and been giving their rightful seat beside women, ushering in these new lives on earth. Hats off, crown off to the doulas out there. So I did not want to feel like I was dishonoring those that are doulas and are birth workers in that field with what I do. I wanted to make sure that my lane was very clear and very distinctively different, because it is, and no more confusion. And to give honor to the doulas so that I can give honor to myself as an oracle. So, the new title that Spirit has given me and I have accepted is a sacred sexuality oracle and womb liberationist. I am a portal guide. I have the gift of being an oracle, meaning I have the gift of knowing, clear knowing of what the Spirit is giving me for my clients, for myself, as it relates to the womb or her life, her transitions, her connections, whatever the Spirit brings me to a client or man client. I have a clear knowing. This is my lane to be the oracle sent to you to help you and usher you through your own portals of evolution as it relates to sexual liberation and remembering who you are. Right now, of course, my work is mainly focused on women. However, this work that I do is also for men. But there is no help to the world if women aren't first. So that's where I am right now. Now, this took some time to come to this name as an oracle of sacred sexuality, but it came through very clear and profound. And I'm super excited to be able to usher in the next wave of people, womb remembrance, of children, of communities through the work that I do as a sacred sexuality oracle and womb liberationist, because that is what I do. I help women and men liberate and understand how to liberate the womb and all that she is so that she can do all that she does. And so, identifying this title and receiving this title come to me and clarity, it's also been bringing me a part of myself that I left behind. And I want to bring you all this today, and awareness of names, right? Your name might be something that you don't feel connected to anymore, or a part of your name. It could be your middle name, it could be your last name, it could be your first name, it could be how it's spelled. The reason why so many people change their name when they are awakening is because it is a soul thing, it is a spiritual thing. Names are extremely important, and what we allow people to call us is everything. Someone's calling you something repeatedly over and over and over, and it doesn't fit your vibration, it doesn't feel right, it's not right. It's not your name. Something's off. If you got a little weird feeling, a little discomfort, a little cringy, that means the spirit is trying to re identify you and bring you closer to what your name should be. And you might already know it. So, this is about your soul name, identifying what that might be. Your government name, that is what's used to track you and to identify you as a human being. Sometimes that might be the perfect name for you, right? But a lot of times it's not in its entirety. So start thinking about what that might be, because that will help you really be more in tune with your feminine self and liberate you from whatever is holding you down so that you can move more forward into the higher version of yourself you want to be. And sometimes we outgrow names and labels and nicknames, right? Nicknames weren't ever really my thing. But over a period of my life, I actually created my own nickname and then I released it, only to return right here today and tell you how I'm about to bring her back. Sometimes we outgrow versions of ourselves that we think might be too small or doesn't reflect us anymore. And that's what I did. I created a nickname for myself. I would never really connect to nicknames. I love my name. My name is Camelia. Now I go by Camelia Janelle. You can call me Camelia. Most people just call me Camelia. That's fine. However, when I was online, I was in groups online and I was really in spaces where I didn't want people to really know my name. And I started to realize people will always fuck my name up. And I didn't like how that felt. So, in order for me to honor myself on online spaces, I decided to create an alias that actually stuck with me for like 10 years. And her name was CJ. I used to go by CJ, Ceejay. I wanted a name that was unisex. I wanted a name that was kind of close to my name, but wasn't. CJ for Camelia Janelle, shortened to CJ. I started to use this as an online identifier when I was in groups and stuff like that. And then it just turned into an identity that I literally encompassed for years. I created her because I didn't really fully feel safe to be seen as fully me, but I also wanted like an alias where I could be parts of me that I was scared to be in other areas. So CJ was an identity that was unique and wild and free and sexual and flirty and all those things that made me and brought me who I am today. She was powerful. I'm talking in third person because she is a reflection of me that I don't always embody. But she is important, and that's why she's coming back forward. She wants to merge with who I am now. She is a part of who I am and who I become. And me not being her and Camelia Janelle is actually missing me. I'm missing myself. She hosted parties with strippers and all kinds of events. She seduced men and women. She would walk barefoot into the fire with no damn fear. That is a part of me. My CJ reflection, she lived the stories that are going to become the sacred teachings of my life and the teachings of those that are watching me. She lived the adventurous life. She lived the free flowing life. She lived the seduction, the money, the lust, the celebrities and the wild nights out and the VIP and the tables and the exclusiveness and the all the things. CJ was the one that realized that doing coke wasn't for her, that being with rich guys just because they had money wasn't for her. She needed more than that. She really embodied feminine freedom in a way that I didn't even realize she was at the time, and explored. She really explored. Yes, I'm talking about myself, okay? But she's another dimension. CJ's a whole nother dimension of myself. Because CJ also was not a mama until she became a mama. And then shortly after that, about 3 years after she became a mom, I decided that I didn't want to go by CJ anymore. I wanted to go by Camelia. I felt like I had to mature. I had to grow up. And that version of me felt like it wasn't conducive to the woman I was becoming at the time. But I was wrong. She is me. She is definitely me. She's fiery. She's the feisty one. She got the quick comebacks. She's not giving the fuck how you feel about her comebacks, her feistiness, her sass. She will reject you with class and fierceness and don't care. She's not afraid of saying no to you. She's not afraid of telling you don't touch her ass when she's shaking her ass in the club. She's not afraid to be the one dancing in the middle of the floor when no one's dancing. She's not afraid to have the spotlight on her while she is in her own world, shaking her ass, moving, gyrating in the middle of the dance floor with the whole club watching. That is me. She is a facet of a diamond that I now embody. I fucked up with trying to reject her and disown her and leave her behind. So now I call her forward so she can merge with me and I can honor her too, because I absolutely loved my experiences as CJ. Yes, just like all my experiences in life, there were some that weren't that fun and weren't that pretty, which is a part of why I released her. Because some of the shit that happened, I was like, damn, I'm leaving that bitch behind. So this video also acts as a resurrection for her because I will be speaking up for her more. And I have a whole series coming where I'll be sharing stories and reflections of my erotic experiences when I was called and I allowed people to call me CJ. So for me, as Camelia, I listen to Spirit. Spirit says it's time to rename yourself, I do it. Spirit says it's time to have a new name, I do it. Spirit says it's time to merge yourself with this name, I do it. I am very spiritually led. In this dimension of myself, as I'm evolving to become one with myself, be in harmony with my masculine and feminine in all parts of myself, it requires me to be in love with all parts of me. And it absolutely includes CJ. Now, some people, not a lot actually, there's a few people that still call me CJ, and they do it to demean me because they didn't want to honor my change. Most people that are still in my life that knew me as CJ, they honored me when I said, I don't want to go by CJ anymore. Please call me Camelia. But one of my friends that is not an asshole, he asked me recently, why don't you go by CJ again? And I remember when I first changed my name to Camelia and I told him to call me Camelia, he had questions then too. And I told him, I said, I just don't want you to call me that anymore. And my name is Camelia. I didn't really explain it. But recently we got to have a deeper conversation, and I talked to him about why on a deeper level. And I also told him that I was also thinking about resurging her, bringing her back into the forefront in a honoring way. And he thought I should. He was like, you should definitely honor her, pretty much in his own way. I'm paraphrasing. But this is the time, okay? This entire feminine magnetism experience has not just been for you, it's been for me. And parts of me are changing and evolving. And in order for me to fully evolve into who I truly am called to be, there are parts of me that I left behind that are coming along with me now. And she's one. So if you've been feeling the urge to rename yourself, or you haven't really been feeling connected to your name, or maybe there's a nickname that people are still calling you that you can't fucking stand, this is your sign to release that and start standing up for yourself, because I absolutely don't regret any moment of me where I said, don't call me CJ. I'm Camelia now, because I needed to embrace Camelia. She was in the shadows so that CJ can be in the shadows too. No, now I'm bringing them both to light. So this is your sign to do that too. And here's some exercises you can do if you are wanting to call your name forward. Take a journal, pull it out, and light a candle, preferably white. If it's not white, light any candle you want. The light will shine through. And ask yourself, what name holds my highest truth right now? Write down the names that people call you, write down the names that you've outgrown, and write down names that trigger your power. Then speak the name that feels like home out loud. Write it, spell it, declare it as yours. Play around with it, feel it, look in the mirror, write it in different ways, and print and cursive, type it, text it, and feel it. Because when a woman names herself, there's no power like that. And when I asserted that my name was no longer to be CJ, it transformed so much around me, and it released a lot of people from my life that were not supposed to be there. I would do it again because it illuminates people and their truth about how they would feel about you taking a stand for yourself, no matter what kind of stand you take. Names are powerful, powerful tools of manipulation and spell work. So when you decide who you want to be called, you will see the people around you shake and shift. And if you made it this far and you're like, yo, I want to go deeper, I want a big, beautiful transformation, I'm ready for this bigger work. My beta course for sensual wealth, womb remembrance is opening on May 5th. There's only a few spots. I'm ushering in only a small group of women that are being called into this experience with me to go into the remembrance portal of your highest womb liberation. I'm so excited about it. You will find the name of your power, your pleasure, and your purpose in this sacred container with me. And CJ will be there too, whispering stories, bringing in that fire. She'll be holding the mirror because she legit made this all possible. If this resonated with you, say, I know my name now in the comments, or anything else you want to say in the comments to let me know that this hits you somewhere. And if you want to join the sacred experience that I spoke of, message me on Instagram and we will get on the Discovery Sacred Sensuality call as soon as possible to lock you in to this beautiful initiation experience. Until next time, this is 20th video. We got one video left. Thank you all for being here. And I appreciate love every single like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.